Aloha guys, GRTV here. Encouraging steps to an enjoyable and safe workplace. Okay, so number one, safety, right? Not expecting other people to look out for your interests in terms of if pathways are clear, if other people are being safe on the job site, if their pathways are clean, if everything's organized, and especially you can put uh, orange duct tape or high-res spray paint on different things to indicate their locations or potential hazards along the way, and your basics, right? I like these steel toes because they have a non-slip grip, so they're very useful in carrying heavier objects in homes where you need good grip, but they're a quick slip on and off since they're a low-cut boot. I'd actually prefer to wear higher cut boots and even pants. By the way, there's a specific material. It's made by Dickies pants. It's a thicker material. You have to check the thickness because you don't want something scraping you, especially in your vital areas, right? And even something like this. This is a mesh. It's a tough mesh sport jersey. I recommend this type of cloth for all the hard work you do, and even myself, I might invent a clothing line that features this cloth for regular construction workers. So it's high res, maybe some striping along it, so it's high res, but it also allows for high degree of breathability in addition to being a tough mesh, so it's protective. And that also could be used as a headgear to protect the neck. You know, this type of mesh, there could be like a hood made out of it. And of course you want to, what I do is I always run clear, and I put my other safety glasses right in my pocket, my darks, so I'm always switching back and forth between them. These are just habits that when you're in the zone, when you want to work, you want to work. You don't want to have to slow down to get safety gear or be safe. You want to position yourself, and that's part of the concept of management of the job site versus the actual work. And the actual labor is involving, and it requires a lot of mental energy. You don't want to be having to think about safety when you're in the zone trying to hustle and move stuff and get a job accomplished. And also remembering not to work too late if the tasks are more dangerous, or if there's a lot of people around. Sometimes it's better to work overnight when there's nobody around, for example. It all depends on the job site variability, what's going on, what has to happen. But another thing is there can be people always are accommodating for physical injuries, but what about mental injuries? What about mental discomfort when you're upset? You should have a right to take a break. There should be a break room dedicated, and I have this concept for a third-party oversight. Third-party oversight, that so that people don't get upset their bosses and back and forth, and there's no tension on the job site itself, but there's like a third-party like security company that maybe one personnel or whatnot walks around the job site, monitors for safety and security, and even asks the workers how they're doing, if they're upset at anything, if they're upset at other people. Even there are even tensions, especially obviously men and women, but also maybe gay men and other men. There might be these tensions or sexual harassment going on. So definitely to be aware of. This is the type of stuff that leads to, at best, anger, at worst, property destruction or personal or bodily injury. So, and I'm also looking at these gloves here. These are MaxiFlex. I really recommend them if you can afford to get the cut-proof ones. Those are even better. But it's a thin glove, but it's really a tough, a good material. These you can see are covered in paint, but this type of glove is good for handling more heavy stuff where you don't want to get your fingers pinched. Remember, it's your job, not others, to look out for your fingers, and you can do research. In fact, I'll include a link on common injuries on job sites, and you can even extend that to consider examining common injuries in life in general, and how to be prudent and avoid these situations. And so working techniques, right? Well, I have different equipment here. One thing is, as budget allows, you want to buy the exact equipment, or perhaps if necessary rent it if the budget doesn't cover for it. You want to rent good stuff, or buy it, and learn how to. You can learn a lot on YouTube on how to do things. Sometimes you want to work on the most difficult stuff in the beginning of the day because you got the most energy. Sometimes you want to work on easier or lighter duty stuff to create momentum, to make you feel like you have a sense of progress. The bottom line, guys, is we should be able to really enjoy our work. And there are other variables that come into work, such as, do you feel like you're being paid fairly? Does the work feel meaningful and challenging? For example, physical labor could feel meaningful if you're getting a bit of an exercise while doing it. And by the way, you don't want to rush in the sense of exercising. When it comes to work and making money, it's usually better to do things the most efficient way in the name of fairness and profit to the payer, whoever's paying. And you got to think of it from their point of view. And until you do that, until you start thinking like that, then you'll always have a worker mentality where, oh, you're entitled or whatever. But the issue is doing things in a way that's efficient. Like, for example, I started off using the hand truck for these, and I realized I could put 4 of them or 3 of them in the oversized wheelbarrow. And so it's all about not milking the clock, wanting to get jobs done efficiently, and then there's a big debate between charging hourly versus per job. I think that it's best to charge hourly. First, prove maybe with maybe offering a free quote, or maybe a free service, like a day of free service, or of course if you have references it becomes easier because people can see who you are. But just ensuring people and then doing the work that they know that you're going to do the best you can in the most efficient manner, and so they're willing to say, I'm willing to pay you per hour. And then it may be that the job is very specialized and you have specialized knowledge, in which case you'll want to potentially charge per the job, charge more. So those are variables. They should be talked about openly with the customer. No hidden agendas, no trying to get around people, and no I call it, it's the cycle of drama and conflict where, somebody wrongs you or somebody's rude to you, so you try to be rude to them. You have to operate as if you're interacting with the universe. Don't get involved in their rudeness, otherwise you're just as bad. Just like, for example, if there's racism or prejudice, if people are biased towards the people who are biased against them, or were biased against them in the past, and what happens is it's just a perpetuation of the cycle of violence, and it just makes people want to be prejudiced more on both sides. So end the conflict only when the last case resort, when you got to be defensive, protect yourself, and even then it could be disadvantageous to take vengeance, because the person can then in turn take vengeance against you. Even calling the police, they might know that you called the police. So that's on a side note, but it applies especially on construction sites where you got, tough people, strong people who are capable of doing a lot of physical damage, especially even all the tools they have. It's all, they could all be considered weapons. Even something simple as something in your pocket, like a utility knife. So, and a lot of people have them around, and Walmart, whatever, different. So all these things considered, seek and give space when there's conflict. And at the end of the day, if you don't like your job, you have to decide on your terms what's going on. Okay? Hey Jay. Just doing a video of. Let me finish it up. Um, and so, yeah, be careful. Don't work with people, and just decide whether you want to work with people or not. Don't make it a conflict, between like arguing with them. Just decide what's in your best interest. All right, guys. Take care.